I was told that you did some work for a pornography magazine.
Wildlife filmmaking is just 3 Fs. Just fighting, feeding, and fucking. I'm gonna change this podcast. I'm gonna be the host now.
So this particular film, what you're talking about it, I think you guys didn't have permission to shoot.
Okay, we can't talk about it.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a very controversial question.
Oh my god.
In a feature-length film, how much is staged?
Kalyan, what are you doing in life again? Man versus Wild. I think it's a shit show.
You believe that the local communities should be moved out from the forest?
I would say I have one last project in my life.
What? Before I start, I must thank Karthik Dave, a dear friend who I have known for a very long period of time. He's the one who came on board to support Some Like It Wild podcast. Without his support, it would have been really difficult for us to continue and produce this content. Karthik runs a beautiful place in Bandipur. By the way, my wildlife journey actually started from his place. So thank you, Karthik, again for supporting Some Like It Wild. Now coming back to this episode. And this episode is really, really interesting and challenging. The reason for it to be interesting and challenging is because of the person who's sitting on the other chair, who I have known for more than 15 years. When I say 15 years, it's really a long time. I have known his philosophy, I have known his ideology, and lots of secrets. Now, I actually don't know which secret I should be revealing on this podcast. So if you have not guessed yet, let me reveal. The guest today is the Kalyan Varma. In conversation with Rohit Varma, most of you and the larger community know as Varma Brothers. Mr. Varma, welcome on Some Like It Wild.
Gosh, great to be here like this. It's gonna be very weird to talk to you like this.
But that's so fun. So, Kalyan, we are not going to have any serious conversation. We have known each other for a very, very long period of time. And let's have some fun.
Let's go.
Awesome.
I can also share your secrets, right?
You can.
Yeah, of course.
It's a conversation.
Yeah.
So you can. There's no problem at all. So my first thing which I wanted to talk about was, how do you identify yourself? You being an engineer, you've been a developer or a coder, you've been an ethical hacker, you've been a DOP, you've been a filmmaker, you're being a photographer, you're being a photojournalist, and something else. So how do you really identify yourself?
It's not one thing, I suppose. I guess at the end of the day, it's storytelling. Storytelling across genres, your photography, filmmaking, in various roles. Early, of course, it was mostly DOP. Now I'm spending more time directing films than shooting stuff. But the coding part is very interesting. You mentioned it because I left that hacker coding thing 20 years ago, and I opened that box just 1 month ago. Thanks to these AI tools, I've just been coming back and doing all this stuff. And now I'm writing code for my filmmaking things. So I'm essentially jack of all trades, basically. Yeah.
I always wondered that why so many techies, if I use the word techies, take up wildlife photography. And it is not happening from today. It has been happening for generations. Minimum 2 decades, we can talk about it. A lot of engineers, a lot of techies, they take up wildlife photography and then
Yeah.
some continue as a passion or a hobby or make a career out of it. Why?
So I think there are a couple of reasons. I think being a techie, you understand the technical aspects of a camera really quickly compared to others. I think that's one of the things that draws tech people into wildlife photography. The other part, of course, I think, unlike you don't have a 9 to 5 job in a tech role, right? You're basically working all day. So, and you just need a stress buster, and wildlife photography is nothing better than wildlife photography. And especially a place like Bangalore, where you have so many national parks which you can go over a weekend and come back. I think a combination of these reasons is why a lot of people in tech have gone into wildlife photography.
I wanted to ask you, did you complete your degree?
Oh God, here we go. Okay, fine. I can reveal it. So I officially don't have my degree. although I claim I'm a mechanical engineer. I did study all 4 years. I did lose few subjects. And basically, I got my job before I quit college, and I was working in Yahoo, and they didn't really care about degree. So when I finished college, I still had one or two subjects which I had failed, and I had to, like, while working, I had to go back and take those exams, which I never did. And so basically, yeah, and the university shut down since then. So I'm basically officially 12th pass.
How did this whole ethical hacking started off? I know that you did hack a lot of companies and got benefited also. I don't want you to name the companies, but how did this
Oh, I
start
can,
off?
I can
You
actually.
can?
Yeah,
Okay, go for it.
yeah. No, I think I've always been a hacker since childhood, school days. I mean, my father was influential in getting me into computing. He always had computers, tinkering with them. So I started with programming, things like that. But in college, I was basically managing my college servers and everything. And part of the managing the server is dealing with security issues and things. And one of my first job was directly in the security team of Yahoo. And back then, this was 20 years ago, 25 years ago, Yahoo was the largest. I mean, today what Google and Facebook is, Yahoo was that. And basically, every guy would try to sneak into the website in some way or the other, exploit it. And it was great fun. It was really great fun. One of my first thing was that I joined exactly a month after the September 11th attack happened.
Oh, okay.
So my very first assignment, which it was exciting to do because we were working with NSA. And NSA, that time there's something called as Yahoo Messenger.
Yes.
And these Al Qaeda terrorists were coordinating attacks on Yahoo Messenger.
Oh,
That's essentially
didn't
how
know that.
WhatsApp it is today.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
So whenever that message would pop up, they would give me the user ID, and I had to GPS locate where that person is.
Oh,
And of course, back then now we can do precisely. Back then, at least, like you could, like a 20 kilometers, but like a roughly, he's in this town is what I could do. It was exciting, but then later the ethical part hit me, because of my code, somebody might die.
yeah.
And what if I made a mistake?
Yeah.
That was very hard. So yeah, so that was start of security things. And once I quit my job, I was like, I was just doing time pass, and especially web security, I was really good at. One of my favorite projects was there was something called Flipkart.
No, Flipkart exists now.
Flipboard? No, like
Like
Amazon equivalent.
Fab something. Yeah. Fabcart or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
One
I
of the big
remember.
sites 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
And I just, like, using the browser, I could just figure out. So I would say, I want to buy this TV, you go to ICICI, and ICICI, you will transfer back, right? So when doing that, I could change few things on the URL, and then it would accept the payment. So initially I bought some book, and it went through. I'm like, okay, let me try a bigger purchase. A TV, well, sure, a TV came along. So I was like, oh, okay. So I wrote to them and said that, hey, there's this security flaw. I bought these things and it was free, and they were, of course, they initially patched it. And then I said, can I keep the TV? They're like, yeah, anyway, we're not paying you, but you can keep the TV.
So this is how the whole ethical hacking happened. So you did Yahoo for a certain period of time, and then you decided to do a bit of a shift, which was supposed to be a temporary shift. I will get into it, but before that, I just wanted to ask you that which is your first love? Is it photography, or it is being a DOP, or being a director? Now.
Now.
Yeah.
I still think photography is the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one camera in your hand. You just go and shoot and come back, and you can just copy on a small memory card. I do enjoy DAP, but it's faffing around with tons of kit and all that stuff. So it's photography, DOP, I would say, but for fun, I would say photography.
Okay. So professionally DOP.
Yeah.
You don't like to be a director. You're doing a director job, but you prefer to be in the field, being a DOP.
I got into this because I wanted to be in the wild. If
Yeah,
I'm
you
doing
want-
director job, I'm sitting back at the thing and somebody else is enjoying in the forest. So
Yeah. You did, when you started off, 20 odd years ago, you won a big award which made you famous in the photography space, which was a Century Asia Award. Am I right?
Yes, that's good.
Was it staged?
What? How can you stage? I mean, especially that
Two
behavior.
hands of behavior. Did
I mean,
you like
of
put up
course.
a log or something and
Oh
make
yeah,
the
okay. So that way, yes, fair enough. I mean, all small things we kind of pick them up and put them somewhere so that's easier to shoot. And I do agree, actually. That was in BR Hills. I had a studio light like this. So I had set it up in my room and I saw these fighting. So I picked them up in a bottle and put them there. But they were fighting. I couldn't make them fight.
I agree. You can't make them fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you created a scene,
A studio set.
a studio
yeah,
set.
Which I think is ethical. Yeah.
Okay. If you say so, I'll buy it. Do you think INW played a role in promoting wildlife photography in India?
Absolutely. I think it was the single biggest generational platform. Because I'll tell you something. I mean, when I started pre INW, nobody would share information. Everybody was very closed. They wouldn't even tell you, like, right? For example, if you go to Agombe, you get king cobras there.
Yeah.
Like, things like that, they wouldn't tell you. They wouldn't tell you technical details, nothing. It was a very closed community.
Why was so?
Because I think
Why were they so protective about the knowledge what they had?
because the number of wildlife photographers is very few. Like barely, like Bangalore had like half a dozen people who are professional, not professionally, but actively seriously doing it.
the wildlife photography.
Yeah, and they're very clear. They're slightly older generation. They obviously don't want the other photographer to get the same or better picture. So they wouldn't share that at all. And INW, before INW, we had something called as India Nature Picks. It was a mailing list, Yahoo mailing list.
Okay.
And so people like Sudhir, who's been on this podcast, and bunch of us, right, at that generation, we were open with each other, sharing information and things. So we started a mailing list, and back then I think you had like 2 MB or something, the storage space. So we quickly were running out because people were putting pictures on it, and your Gmail was getting filled up. And that's when we started the website. And with INW, I think was one platform where people started sharing information. And I have to tell you, INW was there before Instagram, Facebook, before there was a word social media. It was the OG social media of, especially for wildlife photography community.
Yeah, there was nothing else.
Nothing else. So and we, all the friends I know, all the people I know, was built during INW.
People are very nostalgic about INW today also.
Absolutely.
They still talk about it because there was nothing which existed at that point of time.
Absolutely.
So it did. And it's great to see that so many people took up wildlife photography as a very serious passion. I believe passion is beyond hobby because people put effort. They get the cameras, they go travel, they study, they figure out about the animals, about the landscape. So there is an investment of time and money both. And that is what has happened. And I think the wildlife photography is so important today. The kind of concerns what we are facing, and then the photography can do wonders in keeping people informed, maybe even shaking up the governments, drive some policy change. A lot can happen with the photographs. So that is there.
And not just policy, it's science also.
Science, yeah. Big time.
We just, thanks to platforms like INW, now know like, okay, this species exists there, or this, more than what finding new things.
Yeah.
Is realizing that something that used to be there and it's no longer there.
It's no longer there. You're right.
I was just going through INW yesterday and I was searching for Great Indian Bustards. And some of the older pictures were all over India.
Oh, okay.
And now we have bustards only in Rajasthan.
And some in Gujarat or here and there.
But
yeah, nothing beyond that.
Looking at INW data, I can tell that bustards have disappeared in big states in India.
Citizen science.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah. That's how you can contribute. Let's not make it serious. This particular podcast is not supposed to be serious. So let's go back.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll come to the secrets. So when you quit Yahoo and took up wildlife photography, did you really know only 3 birds? The crow, pigeon, and sparrow?
Pretty much, actually. I have to tell you this incident.
Okay.
I had this friend called Yatin. He was my colleague in Yahoo, and we got into wildlife together. And we were coming back, and still then, Brahmini kite.
Brahmini kite, yeah, one of my favorites.
So we see it around, but I never paid attention to
Yeah.
it. I just know some kite. So we're coming from Kanakpura or somewhere, and suddenly see this on the road. And we're like, oh, that's a bald eagle. We saw a bald eagle. And we started taking pictures. And we later come back and ID and like, oh shit, it's a common bird.
And you became a naturalist just by knowing 3 birds. How did you really handle clients who came to BRLs?
So again, reference to Harsha Payal, who are on this podcast. I learned everything I know about wildlife from Harsha. He got me interested. I think after the first set of birds, he was the one who showed me what a paradise flycatcher was. I still remember that sighting and got interested. So by the time I started working as a naturalist, I probably knew like 20 birds.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
And
Not bad.
basic top 10 mammals, I guess. And being a naturalist is not really about identifying. It's more about telling stories, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so important.
So just making pause, hey, look at this flower, this ficus tree. Do you know that it's killing the other tree? I used to do this famous thing in BR Hills. When somebody is going fast, the jeep, stop. It was like, what's happening? Hey, hunt. And they're like, what's hunt? And I show them the ficus tree. That's killing the other tree, but it's going to take some time. Couple of years, but watch it. Yeah.
Awesome. So I also remember you telling me about you did take a permission to go inside the park in the night.
Okay, I hope I don't get in trouble with Karnataka Forest Department now for this. When I started working in BRLs, it was a wildlife sanctuary, and I joined a few months after Veerappan was killed. So nobody used to come there, and it was one of those like no tourists, barely any tourists and things. So there was no restriction; you could go wherever you wanted. Of course, you're technically not allowed to go at night. And I have to tell you this one incident, which is very embarrassing now. I'd come back on the evening safari, and I saw this huge gore, and just the little bit of the back eaten up, and it was in a ditch inside of the road. So I wanted to say I knew that a tiger had killed it, and I hadn't seen a tiger till then, and okay, tiger will come back in the evening. So I called, and the network was very bad. So I came back, called up the DFO, and I said, "Sir, there's a tiger kill, and I want to stay for the night, let the tiger come." He heard the network was bad, so he only heard tiger kill, and so I couldn't hear him and all that. And then he said, "No, I'll come." I said, "Okay, fine." I was waiting in the lodge, and then finally, like the ranger, the DFO, guards, everybody with their lal batti, they all came. I'm like, "What's going on?" It's like, "You said a tiger died." I said, "A tiger kill." I didn't say tiger died. And they were so upset. They're like, because they had come from this town called Chamrajnagar. It takes an hour. Like it took us, we drove an hour, rushed, what the hell. So they all stayed in the guest house that night, and they said, "Okay, we are too tired to go in. You go ahead and enjoy."
What happened when you went inside?
So actually, that's the day I realized that it's actually not fun to be inside the park in the night. We saw a leopard or two, but we were just waiting. A lot of mosquitoes, insects. So we waited till about 2 a.m. and then it's not happening. So we tied a camera trap. And while I was tying, there was a leopard on top of the trees. I've like panicked. I ran, the leopard ran. But we set up the camera trap, came back, and sure enough, 2 leopards came and ate the kill after we left. They didn't come because we were there. And after the leopards went, that one tiger did come and eat it. But
Wow.
we got on camera trap.
You all got everything on the camera trap.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that point of time, you used to have a Maruti 800, am I right?
Yes. My best jungle adventures were with a Maruti 800.
How did you fit into it?
Good question. Looking back, even I don't know how I used to do it, With all my equipment and everything, I just used to go roam around the forest with the Maruti 800. Like, people who know BRLs, like Jodi Gere and all that, which is like core, like on top of hills, I've taken my Maruti 800 there. It was crazy. I still don't know how I fit into it.
Really fond memories of BRLs in that way. And I think that's a point of time you end up meeting with Soligas. And before that, you believed that the local communities should be moved out from the forest and they are harming the forest in certain manner. But after meeting Soligas, something changed.
So it was also timing of it. When I joined as a naturalist, got into it, that's when this whole debate of tribal bill was coming up, what we
Okay.
know as FRA today.
Yeah.
And within the naturalist community and within the slightly larger wildlife community, it was like, oh, this is just land grab. Like we should oppose tribal bill. And I was basically brainwashed into that. That, oh, these tribals are in the name illegally will occupy all the forest, they'll get legal stuff. So I was like that. And I still very embarrassed, like when I used to drive around in BR Hills in the forest, I would see a Sholiga.
Okay.
And I don't know how I got this thought. I was just a super naturalist. But I'm like, hey, what are you doing here? Come, get out, I'll arrest you and all that stuff I used to do. And of course, I had a camouflage thing. So, and I feel very embarrassed now looking at it just like it's a power thing, right? But after spending a year there with close, I got to know one of my best friends, Dr. Prashant there, and there's a NGO called VGKK. My views slowly changed over time, and what started as sympathy, but later I realized that no, they need to be empowered, and also knowing historically the injustice that happened to them. So that was really a turning point in some sense. I mean, it took me a year to, it was not an overnight change of idea, but it took me a year.
So, Kalyan, but this whole BR Hill episode was supposed to be a sabbatical. You thought that you will do this, enjoy the jungle, freedom to go inside, experience, meet up with people, have a great time, and go back to your normal job. But you decided not to go back. How auntie uncle felt when you said that this is what you want to do for your life? You're a gulti, by the way. You
Yes,
know, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. By the way, people who don't know, Gulti means from Andhra. And yeah, I was a typical well accomplished you 20 something, did engineering. I spent some time in the US, so US return, work in an MNC company, all that stuff. Ticks all the boxes for marriage. And these days we talk about valuation of startups. Those days also there was something called valuation, which is how much dowry you're gonna get. so so my valuation I think was pretty high. I think I don't remember my parents saying 50 lakhs or something like that.
Wow, way back 20 years ago. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a
So because it ticks off all the
yeah,
boxes,
yeah.
right?
Obviously, with a
Software,
star
US
performer,
company,
Yahoo,
Yahoo, all that stuff.
traveled.
And I still remember one of my mother's friends had come as guests to BR, and I took them around. And of course, they enjoyed it, but they came back and said, "Son is working like a guide." And guide as in not as a naturalist. When they use the word guide, it's like you go to Taj Mahal, no? You have people like, sir, come with me, I'll show you, kind of thing. So that word spread across my community, and valuation went down. It's like a stock market crash.
But how did you really convince uncle auntie that this is what you want to do it?
So they
Was it
thought
difficult or
they thought it's a crazy.
it's just a phase? They thought it's
Yeah,
just a
they just thought
phase.
he's just become crazy. Let him enjoy for a bit, and he'll come out
He
of it.
will come out of it.
And frankly, that went on for many years. They're like, okay, 1 year happened, then second year happened, third year happened, and they thought I was going to come back at some point. But I think it took them a good decade before they accepted that this is the path of
You
no
have chosen it.
return.
Yeah.
And I think also for them, I think once they started seeing my work being published and some awards and things, they were like, okay, maybe he's doing something meaningful and useful in life.
Yeah, it is so important because we are talking about 20 years ago. At that point of time, somebody quitting a very well-paying job, traveling the globe, getting recognized at a global level in the organization, and following a very very different path altogether, without even knowing that if you are going to make a career out of that or not. It was that kind of a scenario at that point of time.
And also for my parents, no, I think they come from a very conservative, um, from Andhra, where everybody's dream is just do your engineering
Go to
and push
US.
out to the US. That's it. That's like your dream settled in. And I think my parents also changed. I think after they moved to Bangalore, living in slightly urban settings and having urban friends, they slightly became much better at this, accepting this.
So, Kalyan, you did photography for almost a decade. Am I right? Seriously.
I mean, I still do it, but yeah, professionally.
Seriously,
Yeah, yeah,
professionally,
yeah.
seriously, completely focused on it. You used to do the workshops and some tours and all those things till 2010, 11 kind of a time frame, I remember, because that's when I met you.
That's correct. Yeah.
When did you decide to shift from photography to filming? And what was the reason behind it?
So frankly, it was not my decision, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, everybody in India, you have to do workshops to make a living as a photographer,
Yeah.
wildlife photographer.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
you can't make
Yeah.
any living,
Yeah.
right? And that was the case back then as well. And workshops, I did enjoy teaching overall, but the logistics of it, managing tours, everything just was not my thing. I was not enjoying it. And that was the time I also started watching David Attenborough documentaries.
Okay.
So I was watching his documentaries, the original life of birds, life of mammals, and I was just fascinated by it. It was and these are 8 episodes. Original binge watching of wildlife documentaries. Probably that's the only documentary that was you can binge watch. Um, and then I realized I just liked that you would see BTS and this that whole thing of waiting for weeks and months for that one footage and things. It really got me excited. And but of course, breaking into wildlife filmmaking industry is very hard. I mean, back now at least there's some domestic network, but back then we didn't have cameras, we didn't have anything. We had to depend completely on international BBCs and NatGeos. So that was really hard, like establishing that network and there would be like one shoot a year or something like that, not beyond that. So rest of the year, I still had to look after my livelihood. So I still would be. So I started doing the first films 2007, 8, but not much work was there. So till
So when you
2000,
started off, you started as what?
camera assistant.
Okay.
Actually, first project, I was just carrying the cameras around. I didn't shoot anything. Um, our good friend Sarah, I got to work with him. One of our first films was with him, and Sandesh. So yeah, initially, so I also learned a lot from Alphonse Roy. Not many people know of him.
Yeah.
He doesn't do much anymore, but he was the first guy who would, I would go carry his tripod and set it up, and he used to say out whatever he was thinking.
Okay.
So he would say, okay, I'm doing this tilt up to reveal the sun. I'm doing tilt down to this thing. And that was for him to teach me. I'm like, why is it? You don't know the word tilt up. And he would say, I'm tilting up because now I want to show the forest from this and things. So it was very kind to share that knowledge. So I would say the first 3-4 years, I didn't really shoot much of the main camera, still learning, but I would do everything else. I was doing all the stills, time lapses, because that was when I was already established myself as a photographer, but also the other work, because a lot of times
like a fixer work.
a lot of foreign
permissions
crews
and,
would come and they just wouldn't know how to deal with Indian stuff. So I would
Yeah.
be there'll be a
Point of
producer and a
contact, yeah,
cameraman,
yeah.
and I'm like the local coordinator. They call it field producer, whatever it is. So
Hmm.
I used to do that. But in the middle, like they would always have a second camera. I would fiddle around with it and things like that.
So which was your first project? Filming project. And what did you do for that project?
The very first one was, I think it was called Mountains of the Monsoon, where Sandesh Kadur is a presenter.
Okay.
Sarah also, I met Sarah there, and we had another good friend, Mandana. We 4 of us were working on the project. So it was like 2 years across the Western Ghats up and down. And I was really, and the thing is, see, I say being a filmmaker is to be able to know how to do jugaad. That's really is. Forget technical skills and all that. When things break down, you need to know how to fix it. And that sometimes that it could be your vehicle breaking down, cooking in the field, sometimes cleaning toilets. Thankfully, I haven't done it, but yeah, actually, I've done it once for somebody else. But all the other stuff that goes around with it, and with that, I was doing camera work as well, shooting B rolls and all that kind of thing. So I was mostly doing B rolls and that kind of things for the original first few projects.
So this particular film, what you're talking about it, I think you guys didn't have permission to shoot.
Okay, we can't talk about it.
Okay, let's stop it there. Okay, so now in terms of apart from all the other projects what you have done, but the 3 big films what you did, which is Wild Karnataka, Project Tiger, Wild Tamil Nadu.
We've done together, last 2.
Last 2, yeah, we have done together. Which one gave you the creative high?
So I think your newest film is always your favorite, I guess. It's like your smallest child is always the favorite in a family. It's because the first one, you kind of figuring it out. Second one, you learn something else. And third one, you implement that. But I would say Project I was a completely different film, right? It's a conservation film. And the format is different. Wild Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, it's pretty wildlife, showing animals doing
It's a proper natural history film.
Natural history film. So Project Tiger, I think we are very proud. I think it's probably the only definitive environmental history film on Indian conservation. And I think we've done a very good job and balanced it well. While Tamil Nadu, because I think at least the storytelling I felt was better if the whole film is connected better from start to finish. Unlike Wild Karnataka, where we went kind of slightly all over the place in some sense.
Wild Karnataka had multiple directors.
Yes, me and Amog Varsha. Yes.
Yeah. So how did you play the role? Was it like 30% you do, 50% I'll do?
So we basically took turns on sequences.
Okay.
So I would say, okay, river turns. Amog had worked on river turns, so like, okay, that's
yours.
From planning to script writing, everything's yours. Like, I'm not going to get into it. Certain things which I had experience in. So it was like, so we kind of split the divide and conquer kind of responsibility. And to be fair, I think we did a great job and we worked really well. But it was also the time I realized that it's hard to have 2 directors for the film.
It's very difficult.
difficult because I mean, creatively, you're kind of thinking in different sides, and to reconcile it sometime, and to make everybody happy, you're kind of losing
The
the
essence
DNA
of
of
it, yeah,
the
the
film.
DNA of the film or the essence of the film.
So we struggled a lot with that, but anyway, at the end of the day, the film
I think
did
Ricky
the
did amazing with the film music. People
absolutely.
still talk about it. It still is there in your head when you hear the Wild Karnataka music part of it, and the icing on the cake was Sir, and he giving his voice.
Yeah.
And I don't think so anything better can happen, could have happened at that point of time. And somewhere apart from the regular stuff, what has been spoken about it so many years, so many hours, I'm not going to get into it, but I do not remember seeing a GIB in the film, but somewhere I do remember you talking about that you waited for almost 30 or 50 days to get that particular shot. Am I somewhere going wrong or right?
I don't think it was for Wild Karnataka.
Okay, maybe not
We
for the
wanted to,
Wild.
we had ambition of shooting GIBs because the
Yeah.
GIBs just started coming near Ballari.
Yeah.
But we've tried for a week, 10 days, but we just couldn't get anything. Yeah.
But you have shot GIB.
I have shot GIB in Gujarat before. Yeah.
Okay. And did you have to wait for long period of time for that?
So the thing is, getting the animal is not so hard. You can get it in few days.
Hmm.
But in a film, like I said, you're not shooting portraits. You need a
Right.
behavior. You need some behavior. And to get any kind of behavior was hard because they would just 100 meters, you drive up to them and they'll just fly off.
You also mentioned to me while you were shooting in Valparai, and there were elephants, and people were kind of troubling one mother and a calf.
Absolutely. So, I mean, this is a story I've told many people. Probably a bit of exaggerated version, but his story is true. I think, again, I'm quoting so many of your previous guests, Anand, who was here, Anand and Ganesh. So Anand wanted me to do a film on elephants and the elephant conservation work, and I went to Valparai on and off through the year. And that time they were following this particular elephant called Stepio. She was the matriarch and her whole family. And Ganesh also had just joined there, and then so we thought let's focus on one elephant family instead of all over the place. So we were following it, and I still remember the first time it charged, and I also left off the tripod. I'm like, please don't kick it and all that. So Ganesh chappals were off, and we just ran. But what I noticed that after spending more and more time with her, she's just kind of accepted us. Like every week, I could go probably 10 meters closer to her.
Okay.
It just and also primarily smell, I'm assuming. So that was quite a experience, and throughout that time, I mean, I've had quite a few interactions with her, which is quite amazing. She had a calf, so that's why she was always very protective and
Yeah,
used to
which
charge
is
a lot.
obvious.
So yes, I mean, for me, I think the biggest thing, I think in any, not just Valparai, but now I feel that with Tigers of Ranthambore, is that animal knows who you are.
You think so?
I can't help but not feel it.
Oh, okay.
In the sense that I know Riddhi as a tigress, but I've spent enough time with some of these tigers that, and I'm not saying that they know me as Kalyan Varma, but
no, I understand.
As a vehicle, as a filming vehicle,
yeah,
as a filming vehicle, they know that you're not chasing them, whatever. They just treat you differently than others. And really, that's the high-end wildlife in nature filmmaking, photography, when the individual animals knows who you are.
So you have filmed so many different animals. Which is your favorite?
Oh, that's a hard one. Again, it's like asking a mother to choose your favorite child. I like all animals, but I think in terms of filming point of view,
I'm talking very specifically
filming point of view, I like all social animals to start with. Just because they're doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, although I spend a lot of time with tigers, but tigers are pretty boring to film. They just sleep all day. Maybe once in a week they'll run and do something. So I mean, my first is elephants, of course. I think it's just you can reflect your family like with them and associate the things, even the simple things of. So I really like in wildlife filmmaking. It's not. Can I use the F word here?
You can use whatever words you want to use it.
So one of the great directors whom we know, Jeremy Hargaut, said this thing about wildlife filmmaking. Wildlife filmmaking is just 3 Fs. Animals only do 3 Fs, which is fighting, feeding, and fucking. And we just film the same thing, and re-showing that in some way or the other, spin it in a new technology or new angle or thing. Um, but at least when I'm working, I would like to introduce things what a human emotion is. Something like you feeling close to another individual, jealousy, anger. Can we get those in animals? And that you can really do that in social animals. So elephant is great because in Kabini backwaters, Kapankote, it's
Yeah, I
just
remember.
magic.
No,
Just
that's
you just have to be there. There are hundreds of
but that place
elephants.
itself is
Place
magical.
is magic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been with you to Kakankote,
exactly.
so I remember that place. Unfortunately, that elephant, the tusker,
Yeah.
Bhukeshwar, am I right?
Bogeshwara, yeah.
Yeah,
The largest
here
Asian tusked
largest.
elephant. Yeah.
I did remember shooting with you only, and that Huli neck was crossing, and I shot that particular thing, which I don't know which particular film it was used for. I have zero idea, but yeah, I do. Um, so just like elephants, so any social animal you will see wild dogs,
Wild dogs,
lagors,
primates, of course, all
yeah,
primates.
all
It's just
primates.
great. They're just always playing, doing
Yeah,
something,
some
and
action is always happening.
happening. I haven't done some marine stuff. I would love to do things like pot of dolphins and things. I'm sure it'll be quite. I mean, yeah, someday maybe.
So
Like even in birds,
yeah,
like our our editor friend keeps getting bugged with me because I keep shooting babblers in Ranthambore.
okay,
They're amazing because they're all like
yeah, yeah,
doing
they are
something,
very
chasing
active. Yeah,
something, preening each other, and I just find this so fascinating. And I told you, my old driver in Ranthambore, he quit because it's like, sir, मैं best tiger tracker हूँ, ये चिड़िया shoot कर रहा है.
so, so apart from the three films what we spoke about it, you have shot for many films in last 1 decade plus. Okay, and these are the sequences what you have shot,
Mhm.
or multiple sequences for one single film. There's one sequence which you were you yourself were shocked at, oh shit, I shot this.
Good question, actually. I would say I think one of my first favorite sequences that did well, rather, with viewers was Netflix's Life in Color. And with this producer, Nick Green, I filmed this really cool science about how tigers, or rather deer, can't see color. And because why tiger's orange? Orange is because if a tiger's not moving, deer can't, even if the tiger's in front of them, the deers can't see it. And it was combination of what I've shot, and I must give credit to the editor and the producer for editing it in a way which is very engaging, very, very engaging. So I would say that's probably my first sequence, which I'm really proud about. The one I tried hardest and thing was Sundarban tigers. I
I
spent
remember.
5 weeks,
Yeah.
5 weeks, and I saw it. I had 2 sightings, 2.5 sightings rather. Actually, I had 3 or 4, but like before I could switch on the camera, it's gone. And you're in a boat and shooting that and things. So I got to see a tiger for 30 minutes, and the whole sequence was around that. And Paul Williams, good friend, he edited in a way where, because we didn't get any behavior, so it's all about the mystery of the forest, the dangers and the tides and how, and then we reveal the Bengal tiger. I mean, till then, at least in 4K and all, nobody had filmed it. So in a rare species point of view, that was the big thing. But Life in Color, I'm really proud of.
This it's the same time BBC got banned in India.
Yes. Yeah, I was on the shoot when Pradeep Yas was a very sweet chap. He was chief wildlife warden. He calls and says, you have to get out. And I'm not going to name things, but I can talk about it. I remember NTCS sending an order on WhatsApp to him saying that kick BBC out right now. And he was kind enough, said, you have to kick out, but it's a WhatsApp communication. So I'll
Yeah.
wait for official letter to come. So you have 3-4 days, finish your shots and get out.
So if you look at Kalyan, the way I see it, you are very focused on doing natural history films. Then the documentaries or conservation or message-led films. Am I right?
See, it's fun. It's fun to do pure natural history films.
Okay.
You get to be in the jungle, all that. And I do care deeply about conservation. But I'm getting, I think it's old age, maybe. I'm getting to a point where it's hard to take a hard stand. There's
Mhm.
nothing black and white. It's all shades of gray, and you can swing one way. It's like swinging to the left or right, politically. Um, so nothing's like that anymore, and I find it hard to make films where to capture that really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'd done this elephant capture thing, and then I did spend time with the people, like effect, and it was great. It was two sides of the story. But
Hmm.
if an elephant kills a girl today in Hassan, if I was the chief wildlife warden of Karnataka, I don't know what decision I'll make.
What happened? You did shoot the whole way back in what 2013,
14, yeah.
13, 14 time period. I remember, and I remember actually you showing it to me at that point of time, and I had tears in my eyes when I saw elephants getting captured. What policy change happened after that?
So,
Did anything happen?
so the first version of the film, and to be honest, I think I must credit our very good friend MD Madhusudan, who said this is torture porn.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically porn. You know, it's you just showing all the torture without not telling the other side of why they are being captured.
Yeah.
And obviously I was cared about the elephants, and I was very disturbed by it and wanted to showcase it. And the initial film that went out, and that was great because it went viral on WhatsApp and things like that. A lot of people said it went till the forest minister, Ramanatha Rai, and I still remember there was this farmers forest department consultation thing. And these farmers rights sangha, they were saying that, no, capture all the elephants in Coorg district and all these things. And he just went on stage, and he just like, did you see this clip on WhatsApp? And he just played it on stage. And then he said, after watching this, if you're gonna say capture all elephants, then come back to me. And the farmers, the right sangha people, actually, this is horrible. We also like elephants, but please find a solution. So after that, mass capture of elephants has stopped, at least for a decade. I don't know if it's open now, but at least for a decade it was stopped.
Yeah, I think when people see it, um, that's where it makes a huge amount of difference, and people start seeing things very differently. So that means I remember it when I saw that whole elephant capture. I was literally in my tears. I just couldn't hold
Yeah,
myself because
I mean, I
as
was crying when I was shooting it.
yeah,
I mean, normally I have sweat on my camera
yeah,
in
yeah,
Ranthambore.
yeah,
That
yeah,
day I
yeah.
had tears.
Man, it's crazy. And I think in filming, the naturalists, the researchers, they contribute immensely because we gather so much of information from them, and we
Absolutely.
are always thankful to them because, like what we started off for Wild Tamil Nadu, if Caleb was not there, doing a
Yeah.
sequence of Rakagama would have been really difficult.
Not difficult. We couldn't have done it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a real scenario. And see, earlier, if you what you just said a decade ago, largely the Firangs who will come and shoot, and the principal cameraman will be them. You are either assisting them or you're a second cameraman, that kind of scenario. Thanks to Harry Marshall, and where the Indian crew started working way
Right.
back in them. This, I'm talking about the Secrets of Wild India. Now, when you talk about a storytelling, a Westerner coming to India and telling a Indian wildlife story versus a Indian telling a Indian wildlife story, how different it is.
It's that was the thing I've been fighting for the last 1 decade. Um, so if it's pure behavior, it's not bad.
Hmm.
You're just talking about a black buck doing this, and because of this, something happens. Because of that, something happens. It's fine. But I think Western storyteller filmmakers tend to have this the usual global north, global south thing. I hate it when any documentary starts with a sadhu on Ganga, doing this in Varanasi. What the hell, man? I mean, you come to Bangalore, MG Road, and see how developed we are. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just not this. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm just saying that that's not what India is.
yeah. It's a portraying a different image or a
Different thing,
wrong
yeah.
image altogether.
Every film on India, monsoon has arrived, thunderstorm. What's the first animal you see? Peacock dancing. And peacock have nothing to do with monsoon. It's just that the breeding time happens to be in summer.
Yeah,
They're dancing around in summer,
yeah, yeah.
and somewhere while dancing, when rain happens.
Okay, I'm going to ask a very controversial question.
Oh my God. Uh,
Okay, in a feature-length film, 60, 90 minutes, that's what we are talking about it. How much is staged? and how much is real?
Should we reveal the secrets? Let's be honest. I think anything that's macro,
Hmm.
insects, snakes, frogs, these kind of things need a certain bit of, I wouldn't call it staging,
You can use your
manipulating the
words.
environment. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the right words. Just manipulating the environment a bit so that you can film them better. And I will admit it. Like, you can't, like Malabar
You
Pit.
just can't do it.
So for
It's
example,
practically impossible to.
Malabar Pit Viper,
Yeah.
which everybody films, every photo you see,
Yeah.
it's always on a rock with a waterfall in the background.
Yeah.
Malabar Pit Vipers don't sit on rocks; they are hidden under leaves.
Yeah.
So all of us obviously catch them and do it. And of course, I care deeply about ethics and things like that. So, like if you're using lights like this, I make sure that they're wet and things like that. There's a little degree of thing. So staging, I think, is a strong word.
Okay. Let's
I
see
would
the word.
say
Manipulation.
Manipulation / handling.
Handling.
You're handling some of the subjects is what I would say.
Yeah.
But which I think, as long as you're doing with right intent and with right, making sure that the welfare of that lizard or a skink or whatever is number one, you have to push it, man. I think, yeah, if I could do it without doing that, yeah, but
Yeah. So basically, we are talking about doing it for the larger cause. The larger
yeah.
cause of
I don't know if
telling
that
a story.
justifies it fully, but
I
yeah.
don't know. See, you just said some time ago that nothing is black and white.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
we
how
have to
it
question
is.
ourselves also. So because I wouldn't do it if it's an endangered frog or a snake. What if that one individual dies? Then you just really think. So I would never do it. So I'm much more comfortable doing that with more common species. I mean, and we can probably admit it is like the rock gamma sequence in Wild Tamil Nadu. Because Caleb, researcher, was working there for many years. He was able to catch some of the animals and put them in other males' territory so that they would actually fight. To actually wait for a fighting, you would never get it.
It will never happen.
Yeah. So some of those things, I think it's justifiable.
And plus, see, the point here is that you and me would have not been able to do that because we had a researcher.
Yeah,
who
you and me
knew
didn't
the
do it.
behavior.
Yeah.
We didn't do it. He
and
knew
he
how
knew
to
that-
handle it.
And also, remember, there were times he would say,
No.
this male is too stressed. I'm going to release him.
Yes,
You remember
100%.
that?
I
He would say,
remember.
Let's cut the shoot.
Yeah,
Like
cut the shoot. Let it
it's
go.
too stressed and let
Yeah,
it go. Yeah.
yeah.
So that was fine.
So that's the reason these researchers, naturalists are so important because there are certain things which we won't know. But
Absolutely.
these guys help us out and making sure that animal is not harmed.
The welfare of the animal comes first.
Welfare,
number one.
the welfare comes first. So, when you are in the wild and because I have been with you and I have so shot it, there are times when you just wait and
Yeah.
nothing happens. What do you do at that point of time?
Oh, man. In olden days, I used to carry a book. Thanks to smartphone these days, I have some 2-3 games that work offline.
Is it 2-3 games or it is one game?
I mostly play chess. Chess you can play with bots, yes. So if Ranthambore...
Did you see the recent episode of Samay Raina?
Yes, I heard. I actually got to know that he's a great chess player. And on chess app, you can play against him. I tried and he beat me within 5 steps.
Shit.
Yeah.
That means he's really good.
He's really good. Yeah, he's really, really good. So chess is one of the games you can play offline. That's the thing, right?
you
Most
can.
games need... And I keep some offline stuff to read and yeah.
Or you sleep.
The
Doze
problem
off.
is that most time the weather is not conducive to sleep. You're in a very uncomfortable vehicle. There's no, I mean, if it was my SUV, it's fine. But you're in a gypsy where I don't even have a seat. So I can't sleep. So yeah, just telling your time. And of course, in one of the big tiger reserves, it's nice because when this tiger's sleeping there and then there's 20 vehicles and there's some kuch kich happening. Some driver says something, jokes and flying around. It's fun. Yeah. And Ranthambore is one place where I know all the guides and all the drivers. So it's just
You
nice.
spend years together in
Yeah,
Ranthambore and
absolutely.
got to know almost all the people.
So I do journaling, right? So I keep a journal of all my thing. And I just recently realized that I spent 420 days in Ranthambore in the last 10 years.
420 days.
Yeah, so that's since 2017 was the first time I've been there. So in the last 8 years,
8 years, yeah.
8 years I spent year and a half of my last 8 years in Ranthambore. It's quite something.
Yeah, Ranthambore is like really extreme and it's cold. It's really
It's
cold.
cold, yeah.
I remember this is just before COVID.
Yeah, we went in December or
2020.
Jan, I think.
Yeah. Starting of the Jan, we were there. Man, it was freezing.
And I really miss our good times. We have to say, Dicky
Decay.
Singh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what a great story. I mean,
What a great
I
storyteller.
haven't met a more better
Yeah.
storyteller in the
Any
world.
day, any day.
Passionate conservationist.
Passionate conservationist storyteller could hold any conversation
Anything you could
in
talk about.
any environment. Man, that
And he was the
guy.
only guy who had balls in Twitter to say what
Yeah,
said. We would
he
still
never
hesitate
cared.
here. Yeah.
He never cared. And I remember that day when you and me reached Ranthambore, he was waiting till 11 o'clock that, okay, Varma brothers are coming.
Yes,
And he has to meet us and have a drink with us. And I also miss him a lot, man.
Yeah.
A decade plus of doing a wildlife filming. And
2
now,
decades actually.
2 decades. But filming, I'm talking about it largely. If you talk about
15
2000,
years, yeah.
15 odd years. Chalo, 2 decades. Now I see so many clips which are AI generated,
That's correct.
and there are sometimes you can't even figure it out that they are AI generated. Do you think you still will have a role in
So
filming?
it's very interesting because I think when these, 6 months ago, they were not that great,
Hmm.
but now in we're talking mid 2026, the systems of AI systems have come so well that you can't tell whether it's real or fake, one of my favorite videos is this tiger coming and picking up a forest guard and then coming back and releasing the forest guard back, letting him back because there was a lot of outrage on the internet. Anyway, so I know a lot of people in my community feel deeply threatened, and surely so. I think because what would take what I have to get a 30-second rare footage, I would have to wait a month. You can generate in 30 seconds now, right? So you just prompt it well and it whips it out. So yeah, I really think that it's gonna. Yeah, I think AI, like the way internet number one, and after that mobile phones,
Smartphones. Yeah.
change the world. I think the next big thing is AI, and AI is going after everybody. I didn't think it could come out of wildlife filmmakers. It is, because somebody can do a wild Tamil Nadu with some 100 credits and $100 credit and right prompting. But I'm very optimistic of this world because what we call AI slop. There's so much of AI generated content that people are
Could you
going to get
please
bored of it.
explain when you say that AI slop?
It's just there's so much AI content that people
Okay.
are just so sick of it.
Mhm.
You
You think people are sick of it now itself?
They're getting
Or
there.
will they?
They're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay, I have a twist. AI generated content, films, whatever films, Hollywood, Bollywood, natural history, versus when a viewer knows that somebody has gone and put in effort in the field for months and years together. Which one the viewer will appreciate? AI generated or somebody who has really put so much of effort?
So I really think we need to look at history to see how this transforms. 200 years ago, when photography was invented, people said your illustrators, painters are going to be out of job because it captures what it is. But here they are, 200 later, and I know illustrators get paid a lot more film artists than photographers.
Yeah. It's a skill.
No, it's also because that the guy has spent 10 days, 20 days drawing that.
Yeah.
Versus the photographer who probably was at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Right? My favorite is musicians.
Hmm.
When Napster, you remember Napster?
Yeah, I remember Napster. Yeah.
When MP3s came along and we used to all have hard drive with one MP3 folder, movies and all the pirated movies. Yeah, I pirated, yes. So that time people said artists are going to be dead. Musicians are going to be, like, music industry is going to be died.
Yeah.
But then, I think it's been 20 years since any of us bought a CD or a whatever thing. But then it became streaming. I really don't know the transactions of streamings and whatever. But if you look at Taylor Swift, who's worth $1 billion, she doesn't make. I don't think she makes so much money on the sales. It's the concerts.
Yeah.
Artists have shifted, saying that it's not the song that's sales of the song that's going to make the money. It's because we'll keep that free, let people love it, and then we'll charge $1,000 for them to come sit in front row seat to let me sing that live.
So it's an evolution in that way. You are figuring it out that how do you
Exactly. You need to
Yeah.
evolve the model.
Yeah.
So the same thing is going to happen with AI.
Mhm.
You don't fight it. It's going
Mm.
to happen.
No, I know it's going to happen. There's no dispute
Yeah.
about it.
So how do you differentiate? So
So
what?
going back to the same question which I said, that there is a AI generated film and there is a film which has been shot
Hmm.
by people going out in the field, being there for 300 days,
Yeah.
and then the film comes out. Do you think that the viewers will appreciate the effort which has been put in and would like to watch that versus knowing that this is $100 AI generated?
I think so. I think we as filmmakers have to work extra hard to make viewers know that we actually sat there, waited, and got the shots.
Hmm.
I think I don't do much behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
people need to see that we actually waited and know, and then people will put weightage on it, right? Fictional film, I understand, it's just a story. It's a
Yeah.
superhero story, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But with wildlife thing, I think,
But I also have a problem, Kalyan, here is that, see, you also relate with the artist,
yeah,
with the actor. So when you give an example of Taylor Swift or talking about any of the action heroes of our time, either as a Mel Gibson or whoever it is, you relate with those individuals.
Yeah.
If you create a fictional character, it's very difficult to relate with. I can contradict myself.
you are. No, so the thing is, we don't know what's going to happen. The thing is,
Yeah.
it's a
Like
prediction.
a Tom and Jerry, which I still love to watch.
Yeah, and the thing
Any
is,
day.
you just need $10. You'll make 10-part Tom and Jerry episodes.
Yeah. I still relate with the characters. It's so funny.
So, one of the examples I want to give with this is looking at some of the greatest directors of our time. Like, for me, the biggest is Christopher Nolan. You know why he shoots film? I mean, he says IMAX, it's greatest. Yeah, it's great. The resolution on that. But do you know why he shoots film?
No.
He's doing this to CGI make. He's trying to tell audiences that what you see is a practical effect. If a plane crashed, it's a real plane that I bought and crashed. It's not a CGI or a After Effects or whatever it is. So Christopher Nolan is saying that, boss, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell a great story. It's all
Yeah.
real. What you see. So that's why even Quentin Tarantino, all these guys, they still shoot in film for that reason.
Yeah.
To tell that, boss, it's not like I hate Avengers, by the way. It's just, it's all CGI, whatever,
Yeah.
or
It's too much of
colorism.
CGI. But
So-
we both loved watching F1.
Exactly. So F1 is another movie, right? It's digital, but that it was shot real.
It was short
In
real.
fact, they quietly sneaked into actual races, and before
Yeah.
the race, after the race, they shot it.
Beautifully.
And because we know that, the fact that they shot with the races, we are appreciating that more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's some CGI, all that stuff. And
Yeah, but it is not like a film driven by the CGI.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just their part of it.
Yeah.
And the point is the music.
Of course. Hans Zimmer doing his magic.
Hans Zimmer, he's like a god of music.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant. So even if whatever prompts you put it up to make the music, what Hans Zimmer can do,
Exactly. Yeah.
I really doubt that AI will be able to create. See, I'll tell you, Kalyan, means I understand what you are saying about the AI, but there is something which is very important is human emotion.
Yeah.
Okay. Human will always relate with the other human emotion.
Although that said, I've been using Claude, and you have no idea how amazing it is in writing human emotion.
Okay. I haven't experienced yet. So
Yeah. So I use AI actually quite a bit. I've been writing this softwares which analyzes the footage,
yeah.
all that stuff. Sometimes even when I'm stuck in script, even while Tamil Nadu I was doing it, when I'm stuck in a script, like I'm not finding the right words, I would just feed it, okay, this is the script I have, this is what I want to convey. And it'll give you 2-3 options to play around with. But one thing, again, this is advice for all not young, or senior wildlife filmmakers is visually, make sure you don't generate a single frame which is AI generated. The day you do that, you lose your credibility.
See, the way you have used it for the Wild Tamil Nadu is the script is yours, still yours. You're not using AI to generate a script.
Yes, it's just to can you find a better word?
Yeah, it's improvisation.
Improvising, yeah.
Improvisation, which even I
All
do
of
it.
us, yeah.
All of us,
And
we
that's
do it.
completely fair.
It's fair. But I am not using, okay, this is a prompt, come up with a script, and you go out in the field and say, okay, yeah, let's make the
You don't
film
have
like
to
that.
go out in the field anymore.
Yeah, actually, yeah. But the point here is that I still feel that people will really value the
Yeah.
effort which has been put by the crew to make the film happen. And that is very visible. And yeah, we really suck at it that we don't do any behind the
Behind
scene.
the scenes, exactly. Yeah.
We really suck at
I
it.
mean, I hate to be in the, you know how apprehensive I was about being here.
Yeah.
You have to do more to let people know that you actually spent, so many years, literally years, right? Trying to get
It
this thing.
is.
Yeah.
Any film what we have done till date, it is years.
Yeah.
Like even Project Tiger, yes, we didn't have to do
Much shooting,
much
but
shoot.
yeah, just putting it all together.
It's
Yeah.
so much which goes into it, and I think the audience will really appreciate to know that it is not easy to do a film like either a Wild Karnataka or Project Tiger or a Wild Tamil Nadu. A lot goes into it,
Absolutely.
and audience must appreciate the effort which has been put by the whole crew. It's not about an individual's vision. It is about the whole crew which believes in that vision and go out in the field and make it happen. So, but okay, let's go back to the photography race. You are the one who spoke about Creative Commons.
I didn't speak about it, but I've
No,
always
no.
subscribed to that ideology.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you subscribe to that ideology, and because of you, I subscribe to the ideology. And you kept a lot of your images under Creative Commons. You uploaded on Wikipedia and different other places, allowed people to use it. And I recall I was sitting as an audience and in somewhere where you were speaking and you spoke about that.
It's one of the IBM conferences, I think.
Yeah, some conference I don't remember. And when you spoke about that, one of the images was picked up and it became a cover of an album.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my God, Rohit, I don't know how you remember these things. I swear, I've forgotten about it in my life. Oh my God, Rohit. Shit. That's Varma Brothers. I have to say.
Why don't you tell about this whole album story?
God, I've forgotten it. Now I have to. You probably know more about it than I do. I remember this. I think it was like a band in Finland or somewhere,
Okay.
and they. I mean, they're not a A-list band, but like mid-level band, and they want to release a music video, and the music had something to do with nature.
Hmm.
So they took my images, and essentially the music video was a slideshow of my images.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it's almost like
I thought it was a cover.
oh no, no. So okay, so there's two things. So this band, they want to release music videos. The
Okay.
music was about nature, and they just it's like literally a
Hmm.
slideshow.
Hmm.
The cover was something else. There was this no, it's not an amazing movie, it's okay movie. Something called Snakes on the Plane, which came out 20 years ago.
Okay.
And it was made by Universal Pictures,
Okay.
and Samuel L. Jackson and all is there. It's a plane where suddenly tons of snakes come up and everything's.
I've seen the movie.
You've seen it? Oh, I haven't seen it. Okay. So it's very interesting because 2000. This is just when I was in the journey photography. I don't know how to make money, all that stuff. I just get a letter from says Universal Studio. I'm like, what? How will I get a letter? And inside I open it, this check, $1,000.
What?
I'm like,
$1,000?
yeah, and that was a lot of money.
Big money.
Yeah. Like, I don't know anything about you. I haven't done any deal with them. What's going on? And then there was a letter. It said beautifully saying that we made this movie called Snakes on the Plane, and we needed a photo for the cover of the DVD. And we looked around and we saw that your picture was available free and we could use it free of cost. So we used it, and our graphic internal team said that this works great, and they went ahead and used it. And of course, Creative Commons lets you do it. But they said, as a thing of gratitude, we'll still want to pay you for it because you would have paid this to an artist anyway. So thank you for keeping it free. The DVD is already out, but here's a check of $1,000. So I was like, oh my God. Couldn't believe it that, I mean, $1,000 was 6,000 back then.
Yeah, it's a big money, whatever said and done.
Yeah, and they didn't, what I really respect them is that they didn't have to pay me.
Yeah.
They can be chindi about it and say,
Yeah,
okay, you know
yeah,
what,
yeah.
free mein mil gaya, I don't have
Yeah.
to pay. But they had saying that we actually respect you for keeping it free, but we had the budget, so we'll pay you anyway.
And I tell this to a lot of people that why do you put huge copyright. Why?
Exactly. Yeah.
It is not helping. I'm saying that let people use it. Someone will get inspired
And we're
and
not
will
going to make
care
money
for
out of
nature.
it
Yeah, you
anyways.
won't make money. Even if you'll make $500 or $5,000, nothing beyond that.
I mean, the photography
Yeah,
world has
so
changed.
that is very simple. I've just been. I was told that you did some work for a pornography magazine.
Oh my God. Okay. I didn't pose for it. I number one, not anymore. um, so early in my career, one of my after the jumping ant picture, there was this
Ah,
purple frog picture that went viral,
yeah.
and it got published this really cool website called Boing Boing, which was a really cool thing back then, and then it became what do you call viral these days. And I got this email from this magazine called Maxim. I didn't know what it was.
Hmm.
Then I looked at the website. It's a pornographic web, like a glossy pornography, like Playboy. It's essentially like
Just
a
like a Playboy.
combination
Yeah.
of Playboy
Yeah. Yeah.
magazine.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, right. So they had this thing. I mean, apparently even Playboy magazine. I mean, I've seen few when I was younger days, but they're good. They have good editorial team.
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah. I get
nudity
it
and
what you're
pictures.
trying to
Yeah,
say.
they have some general article.
Yeah.
So they just want to say this weird looking frog that found in the world. And I said, okay, fine, great. And they were ready to offer some, they paid some $100 or $200. I don't remember. But the real problem with that was that I said, so they said, send me, I said, I need a copy of it. I said, fine, we'll courier it to you. And they couriered it to me, and I was not at home.
Oh,
And
shit.
my mother opened that
Oh,
magazine.
shit.
And I think I reached home next day. She's like, Kalyan, what are you doing in life again? So I'm like, okay, I just did it for some $200. I still have that magazine in my parents' cupboard. So it's very weird because there's an adult magazine with woman, whatever, complete revealing, but yeah,
With a
there's
purple frog.
purple frog in between.
Oh, shit. The funny part. Oh, man, I still can't visualize it.
Imagine my mother getting a magazine and they're like, address to Kalyan Varma. Like, okay. Yeah, that was weird.
It is surely weird. So, see, Kalyan, just going back to the filming episodes and our photography episodes, I see that most get into this whole mode that I have to become a National Geographic explorer, okay, or a photographer or whatever, okay, the branding of NatGeo. But you never applied for it or never cared about it.
I've had one of my first very gigs internationally was with BBC, and I've always had great relationship with BBC. I had great producers whom I worked with. So I've just stuck to that. I just didn't like the American way, which is I got into trouble a couple of years ago when I said things about Man versus Wild. I think it's a shit show.
It is.
It's not like our friend Ditman says. It's not man versus wild. Under nature. We are in mercy of nature.
Yeah.
Man versus wild about this macho thing. You just go and catch the snake. All shit. So when I said something, I got into trouble with Discovery Channel because of that. And American audiences are largely about this.
Jumping, picking up a crocodile.
It's a man's.
right?
It's human power over nature.
Yeah, which is
Nature is like something there, and we have to control it.
bullshit. It is.
Yeah. Whereas European audiences, it's more the David Attenborough style, which is like, no, we live with nature, we appreciate it, like from the butterfly to thing.
Yeah.
So one of the things that NatGeo doesn't do is that, okay, I can say this. One of the like senior most NatGeo woman who heads NatGeo, she doesn't like birds. She literally said birds are creepy. So if you make a film, you can't have a sequence on birds because she'll disapprove it, she'll cancel it. And that's ridiculous.
It is.
Filmmakers had a freedom, and so I think BBC is my mothership, like and and I work with a lot of other European broadcasters, which are open for it, which is just you tell your story. We won't interfere. I mean, basic small stuff here and there. So I really think that that's one of the reasons why I've kind of stayed away from NatGeo. I mean, although I've done a lot of projects with NatGeo and
Yeah,
things.
I'm not talking about doing the projects. I'm just talking about being a NatGeo explorer.
Yeah,
So because I know that you never applied for it, and
absolutely.
it didn't bother you any point of time, because you spoke about that the freedom to do things. Are you really desperate to make a film on something which you know that you will not make any money out of that?
Yes.
Go on.
I want to make the next Sharni.
Next.
Sharni.
Oh, awesome. Oh
Because you know what?
man. Hmm.
If you're doing pure naturalistic blue chip wild document, you're stuck in that what footage you have and based on telling the story. Why not jump to fictional film? And thing is, you and me.
By the way, Shirni is not fictional as such.
No, as in, it's what I'm saying is that it's
Yeah, I understand.
real
Yeah,
stories,
real
where
stories.
you can ask a per character to say, okay, walk from left to right, and it's a DFO and what they have to deal with, right? And I want to say, because you and me, I mean, both of us,
Yeah.
we know so many micro stories in all these areas, and if you can make a drama, so imagine, okay, this is just just coming up with it like a story. Uh, there's a woman. I mean, actually, there are a lot of women in Ranthambore. Like Ranthambore, most of the gates are manned by women. You know, who check the tickets and all that stuff. Imagine if one of the women falls with a tourist who comes there, and then they want to get married, and then the DFO doesn't allow, and and then her house get burned because some tiger has attacked somebody, and because they are angry. These are fascinating stories, Rohit, and I want to like, why am I limited to this? This fucking tiger is not gonna wake up all day, and I'm making trying to make some story out of it, So someday,
Yeah. So yeah, when it comes to the natural history, in a way, it is like a box. You're shooting in that box.
stuck with what you have. Yeah,
Yeah, you stick to
I
what
mean, I
you have.
enjoy it, but yeah,
No, I know you enjoy it, and I really and very frankly, what you said about the Sherni brings a very important topic, or something which I have been thinking about it, is that how do we make wildlife films mainstream?
relatable. Yeah, absolutely.
See, there's a very small audience which watches the content what we create. Very small audience. A Sherni kind of a film will be watched by millions.
Okay, Shani, right? So I always look at historically.
Yeah.
If you look at Indian context, Jungle Book, Disney has done 2, 3 versions which done really well. Uh, Disney's done Lion King, which in Africa which done really well. But the best fictional film on wildlife that did really well, you know what it is? So there was this Kevin Costner Dancing with the Wolves, I think. It was really nice thing. And you know this, I'm sure you've seen this. It's that what's the one with the lions in Africa? This Michael Douglas and thing. The Ghost and the
The
Darkness.
Ghost. Yeah.
The Ghost and the Darkness.
Yes.
What a film, man.
What a film. Yeah.
You know?
What a film.
And as a child, I'd watched it, and I still remember each time I see grass moving, I'm like, terror comes in because, like, what if the lions are in there, right? And it's such a, like, it's a naturalistic film, but, told with big actors and drama and all that. And I really think that we should explore those options in India.
Yeah.
India, we have so many stories.
Yeah. See, India, it's a huge country with loads of stories, and the amount of natural history what we have, whatever has been documented, and it's crazy in that way. It is immense. I don't know how much has been explored, how many films, because see, largely, unfortunately, what sells is a tiger.
Mhm.
So you see a lot of films which are around tigers.
Yep.
That's the truth. And thanks to you, thanks to even Aarti, when we talk about Wild Tamil Nadu, when we decided that we are going to work on a lesser known species,
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
must give credit to her, because anybody would have said, no, I want tigers.
So just people who don't know, Aarti is a producer of the film, and the amazing thing is that from day one she said, let's just not focus on the big things, let's just focus on the smaller, lesser known things.
And we must appreciate Aarti because she gave us creative freedom.
Absolutely, yeah.
She never interfered.
I mean, uh, ant lion has more screen time than a tiger
Actually,
in Guatemala.
yeah. And that was amazing shoot. There is no
Absolutely.
dispute about it. It was something which I didn't see it earlier. It was first time for me because I've never seen earlier. With regard to Agama, with regard to a lot of other things, I've seen it.
Yeah.
But this was something so unique about it. And I really appreciate her giving us the freedom to do
Absolutely.
a film which
Absolutely.
is
Yeah.
so different, just completely focus on lesser known species. And which is so important. People
Absolutely.
have
Yeah.
to know about it.
And the thing is, so strangely also, when you see the reviews of the film, the things that people remember of the film, it's not the tigers, elephants, or whatever. You know, it's that Baya Weaver or
Yeah.
Rock Agama, which we shot together, and the ant thing, which we
Antlion,
shot
yeah,
together,
we wish,
all this
yeah.
stuff, you know.
It's
So
amazing.
it's amazing.
It's really, really amazing. So, Kalyan, 20 years, 20 plus years doing a wildlife photography, filming. Do you feel now that you should have done something else, or you're really happy with what you have done?
Is that even a real fucking question, Rohit? I think I've lived the best life.
Hmm.
Sure, we've all paid our prices, you know. I paid the price of not having a family, relationships, all that kind of things because of my passion. Um, but I mean, if I die tomorrow, I'll be the happiest person on earth because I've just lived it. I've done it. I've every day in the wild was just really good.
What's your big dream?
My big dream is uh, that's a hard one, right? That's a hard one. Um, hmm.
Something you say, done, and I'm also done. Like, I can now retire.
Um, I would say I have one last project in my life. And when I say this, I am not saying as a bhakt, and I can quote me for this. Bharat Mata Ki Jai
What does it mean?
is, I hate the word Bharat. I said India is the most beautiful country in the world. We have so much. I would love to retire by doing one film dedicated to the whole country. We've been doing films state by state, but as a country,
I don't think so. We can do it justice with one film.
a series or a film.
Yeah,
But yeah,
series. Yeah.
but I hate the word Bharat Mata Ki Jai because it's a very right wing thing. But internal, what these BJP goons um, won't understand, Bharat Mata Ki Jai means that it's an internal thing. It's internal feeling. It's not to beat up some Muslim guy.
Obviously.
And please use this clip. Don't cut it out. Sorry. Uh, um, yeah, I really think that we are such proud Indians. We are Indians. We are who we are, and we ought to be telling. It's Indians telling Indian stories to not the world, Indians.
Yeah,
You know, one of the
I like
things.
that.
You know, on some of the shoots we've been on, I think in Tamil Nadu, like when you ask, like saying, "What wildlife do you know?" and they say giraffes and hippos and things.
That's so sad.
Because that's how they see NatGeo and that's how they know. They just don't know what's there. Like this beautiful Madras hedgehog in the backyard.
Yeah.
And I really think that as a country, we really ought to be doing. And I mean, that's kind of like a mission statement, right? I
Yeah.
think, okay, by the way, this is the thing for all, and I know the beautiful friends we have as a beautiful community, we have wildlife filmmakers. And this is a request for all our community. Do films about, don't get sucked up into Western narratives. Do tell local stories, local thing, and with your perspective, and I know a lot of people have been doing it so far and winning good awards with it.
It is so important to have our stories being told in our ways,
Our perspective.
our perspective. It is
Desi
not
style.
somebody desi style. Desi works. So your big high is going to be working on a film or a series which is showcasing India in a best possible colors, if I'm seeing it, but from a wildlife perspective.
No, but we should also show the problems we have. I don't think we should shy away from the problems.
Uh, yeah, we shouldn't shy away from
It's
the
not all
problems. But
pretty,
my
right? It's
point
not
is
all
very
pretty.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not pretty. Nothing is pretty. Even in a relationship, you will have ups and downs. So everything is not pretty and everything is not
No, no.
simple.
Okay, you can't compare the relationship. But
But वो तो
storytelling,
reality है ना.
storytelling. Yeah.
Storytelling में भी वही आता है ना. See, if you're talking about the problem statements and talking about how the natural cover is getting reduced, how the corridors are shrinking, how the tigers are dying in Kana right now because of canine distemper, because there are so many issues. But what I feel, Kalyan, is that if you show a picture to people which is pleasing, which makes them happy, they relate it more.
No, but Rohit,
Because I'll let me complete it. Why I'm saying so is that in every individual life, they are going through a lot of shit. Okay. Look at our own behavior. What do we consume? Something in which we feel happy about it. Then watching it, something which is really sad, which is
but Rohit, it's a
troubling
very valid
us.
point you said, and I've always said this, which is what I believe in. Conservation is a two-step process. First, you have to make people fall in love with that
Yes.
nature.
Yes.
And once they fall in love with nature, then you can say that, okay, this great Indian bustard is going extinct and do something about it. Write a petition or donate to an NGO or whatever. So if people are not don't love it, they're not going to get to the second step.
Yeah, they won't.
And I do agree that most of us, at least most of my work, is the first step, which is make people fall in love with nature, and hopefully the second step can happen.
On that note, this was, I think,
I'm going to change this podcast. I'm going to be the host now. I have some Rohit secrets which I want to reveal
actually,
on this
I didn't
podcast.
even go on your secrets. I did start on that.
I am revealing some Rohit secrets.
Go on.
Actually, I don't know the
Okay, but what I really enjoyed about this whole conversation today is so candid. Um, we're not getting philosophical, talking about ideologies and blah blah blah. There is no gyan. It
Yeah.
is real as it can get. We are driven to do something. We want to do something. It could be a film, it could be a photograph, or it could be of saving a species or a habitat or whatever it is. The critical part is that you're doing it. And I must appreciate you because you have moved people. There are a lot of people who are inspired from you, Kalyan. And that's a reality. And it is because one, you're approachable, one, you don't give too much of gyan. Sometimes you do, but largely you
That's to
don't.
you. That's to you
No,
only.
that's to me. Okay, fine, I'll take it. And but you have inspired the next generation. People like me, there are hundreds and thousands of people who got inspired from you. And I think the community, somebody inspired you also to be in the space. Either it's Mr. Vijay Kawale, late Vijay Kawale, or there are a lot of other people. That is what it is. The whole idea about this podcast was to have a very candid conversation between two friends who have known each other from last 15 years, have gone through journeys, moments of anger, disagreements, and every possible damn thing, and still can sit on this chair or this platform and have a very candid conversation. I look up to Kalyan because of his philosophy. It's actually not a philosophy because he has lived that thing. So a philosophy is philosophy. When you act on it, is very different. If I put my images under Creative Commons, is because of Kalyan. If I got into the wildlife film, is because of him. That's a reality. I learned from him. And there are lots of people who have learned from him. The idea is very simple. What is required to be done? We talk about global warming, we talk about climate change, we talk about a lot of issues. Issues are there. The point is that through the films, through this podcast, through the photographs, can you really make the difference? That is it.
I don't still believe that you can, but you can try.
Their trying is very much important.
Give it a shot.
Why not?